Hello and welcome. In this video we're going to be showing a new feature of our Infinite Joinery tool that enables you to do custom profiles for your shelving. During this video you'll also see the changes we've made to the interface to make the designer menu and access for the average user to all the components of the tool far more efficient. Okay, so let's have a look. We have a typical tall joinery unit here that we need to put shelving into. So we're going to select the object and go into the settings. We're just going to go back to the main page here. So this is the new interface using the designer menu where it gives you access to the catalogs, and then once you go into a custom configuration you then also get access to the customized panel. Similar to what we have done in Infinite Openings, this basically makes it a lot easier for the user to start at a predefined configuration and then very quickly make amendments to that. However, the section today we want to focus on is an actual more detailed configuration. So it's not part of the quick access of the designer menu. So we need to go back to our regular menu. Minimize this, we'll just show everything so we can see the full menu structure. We go down into our functions and we go down to shelves. So at the moment you can see that we have two stations in this element. If we just go and have a look at these functions. So we have two stations. And so far, each station, the shelving is set to off. We have three different shelf bank configurations that we've created. We can up that number and create a lot more different configurations of shelf banks. And in here, we're actually looking at setting the handrails. Just reduce this so we can bring this up. Okay, so we want to set the shelves. Alright, so I click on set shelves. This configuration enables shelves and rails together, so you can set the shelves and then you can set the rails for that configuration also. For this one, shelf bank 1, we want two shelves, and at the moment they're not profiled. So this is our new profile button that allows you to set a custom profile to the shelf. At the moment it's just your standard black shelf. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply shelf bank 1 to both stations. And we'll just go have a quick look at how that looks in 3D. Okay, so there you can see our two shelves that we have set up in 3D, and you can see there's also the 3D line work that just helps with your automating the elevations. So we've set those shelves to 450 deep and they're 16mm shelves. We can set the depth and thickness of those elements independently. Okay, let's go back into the settings. So here's where we can set the depth and the thickness of each of those shelves independent, as well as the positioning, but at the moment we have it set to equal heights, so we can uncheck that and then we can set any custom position here. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put in a few more shelves so we can see some more examples, and then I'm going to set these to profiled. So instead of 2 we're going to have 6 shelves, and now we check the profile button. So with the profiled option checked, we then need to nominate that we want to set the profile guides. Now, when we have a look in 2D, there'll be some guide hotspots and a little image that will allow us to design our shelf profile. So you can see our shelf profile is just a simple sloping shelf at the moment. So if we now go down to the 2D view, and here you can see our cabinetry. So we select this item, and now we have access to the shelf profile. What you have to consider is the positioning of this element and how this shelf profile is actually positioned. So if we have a look at the settings, we can see that this element is at 180 degrees, so it's actually upside down. So we are looking at this profile upside down. So this is the top edge of the profile and this is the bottom edge of the profile. Now, if we want to create an interesting profile, let's just say something more like a bookshelf, then we simply grab the nodes and we start moving them. Like all of our polygon features, we have two nodes to edit the edges. The center node is to curve that edge, and the one at the quarter mark is to add a new node. So the example I'm going to do is just going to be a fairly sloping shelf, and I'm going to just draw it rough freehand. So we're going to put quite a slope on this element, and then we want to add a little kick up at the front. Just stretch these elements here. Remember, I'm doing this upside down because this object is turned at the 180 degrees. If you were setting up some project standards, then you would probably do this in a sample object, and you would have it set to the 0 degrees so you don't have to draw upside down or on the side or something else. So there's my shelf profile, fairly simple. Let's have a look in 3D. And there you can see the shelf profile. There are no limits to this polygon and the shapes that you can create with it. Obviously, straight and curved edges are the only limitations. So you can go right ahead and create shelving for any sort of configuration, whether it be a specific kitchen shelving or whether it be something for bookshelves for a library or some other commercial application. You can create any shelf profile that you want with Infinite Joinery. Oh, and also, interestingly enough, you can have more than one profile in the object. So the profile handling of this allows for actually multiple profiles. So if I go back into the object, let's go and set this to shelf bank number 2, and then let's go edit shelf bank 2. We might go to the shelf page so we can see this more in the center of the screen. Okay, so we've got shelf bank 1 and shelf bank 2. We're editing shelf bank 1 here at the moment, so let's go to shelf bank 2, and we'll set it to 2 and equal as well, so those shelves can be side by side so you can see them together. Okay, and then shelf bank 2, we're going to just have a look and see what it is like now. So you can see it's just your standard shelves. Go back into the object, let's set this to profile. We've got our profile guides already turned on, so you can see that is a different profile to this element here. And let's go in here and let's just make something fairly funky. Okay, once again I'm drawing freehand, so that's pretty ugly, but you get the point. Have a look in 3D at the full element there. Now let's go back and unselect that element and just have a look at it cut in half. Okay, so there you can see we've actually got 2 different shelf profiles. Okay, so that's it for the latest features of Infinite Joinery. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.